Hello and welcome in to another episode of Arsenal Fan Circle, everybody. Um, it's been a difficult week as Arsenal supporters. Um, this is episode 20 of our first season. I have on the phone with me Richard from Arsenal TV. Good evening, Richard.
Yeah, good evening to you, Ray, and good evening to Gundit News as well.
And I have my co host Mahir Abrams, Gundit News, also.
Good evening to you all. I hope you all are well.
It's been a difficult week with the result that we had on Thursday, but something that is much more overshadows what happened on Wednesday night is a loss of one of our invincibles, um, a father, a brother, a son, all of these things. Uh, can you put into words, Richard, what you're feeling?
Well, Jose Antonio Reyes is a massive loss to us Arsenal fans as well, because he was part of the invincible team, and he done the best that he could in the appearances that he made for Arsenal. All I can say is that he will be sadly missed in the Arsenal fan base, and obviously in Seville as well, because he played for Seville for some time under Unai Emery as well. Won 5 Europa League trophies and plus one Premier League, one FA Cup, one La Liga. So he's had a massive, massive career. But it is a massive miss for us as fans to lose such a fantastic player that he gave to us.
Yeah, and it's with a heavy heart as Arsenal fans because we have learned recently, Gundit News, that he was going to come on the coaching staff for this season coming.
I mean, at that time, he was the much needed winger that we need. Absolute legend. And it's extremely heartbreaking that he died at such a young age.
Yeah, 35 years old. Great teammate. All of the tributes are coming in from the Invincibles that he played with and the team that he had played with before Sevilla, Richard. And basically, it goes beyond football, something like this.
Yeah, it has to go beyond football. I mean, there is even I've seen Tottenham fans that have said that it's sad news to hear, like put rivalries aside.
Yeah,
But yeah, times like this, you have to put life into perspective. That you're here 1 minute and then you could be gone the next. So this is why you need to take life and just live your life to the full.
We are reminded of these things, and maybe as human beings we forget about these things. Gundit, the day to day, we forget about the day to day thing, and we need to hold on to what's important in our lives, our loved ones, and everyone we love. We should give an extra big hug, an extra big hug tonight. Right?
Yeah, life is too short.
Yeah. The things he did for Arsenal, he helped Arsenal maintain the unbeaten streak. Some people have said we would not have gone unbeaten if we had not brought Richard, if we had not brought Jose Antonio Reyes in that January window.
Yeah, just put it this way, we did actually need a winger at that time, and I think the time that he had over in Seville, I think he was the best replacement. £17 million, I think. Well, it was originally actually 10.5 million.
Yeah.
But it depended on the success that we had, and then eventually went up to £17 million. But I would say £17 million, that was money worth spent.
Yeah, and it speaks to some of the successes that he did have on the field as well as off the field, that the transfer fee rose to 17 million with all of those add-ons that were done back then.
What I remember about Jose Antonio Reyes was that he smiled. He always used to always have a smile on his face every time he used to play.
Yeah.
And he always had that eye for goal. He wasn't afraid to take on any of the defenders. and he just went about his business. But as I said, it's a sad loss for us Arsenal fans.
And for me, Gundit, maybe the best tribute to Jose Antonio Reyes on the field was that Gary Neville had to continually foul him in that game. He couldn't get anywhere near him.
It's just fitting that they gave the tribute last during the Champions League final.
Yeah. And it was very, very well observed as well, Richard. So
it was well deserved because that particular stadium that Tottenham and Liverpool played against, he also played in that stadium under Seville as well in the Europa League. Most of his Europa League matches have been in that stadium. So, yeah, I think it was rightly so for UEFA to do that.
So rest in peace, Jose Antonio Reyes, taken too soon from us. Any final words, guys?
And condolences.
Our thoughts and our prayers are always with the family.
Absolutely. Both of you chimed in with the same thing. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. I did see a video of him with his two young girls, I believe. Taken too soon. Taken too soon. But let's move on to footballing matters. What did you both think of the Champions League final just played yesterday? Relief? Go first, Richard.
I'm absolutely fully relieved. I'm so glad that I don't have to call Richard Branson to get that plane to the moon.
Yes.
But yeah, do you know what? I could tell by the players, even the Liverpool players as well, and the Tottenham players, they looked absolutely shattered. Tottenham wasn't really playing that great, and I just think that Liverpool were just too good. I think it was a rightly deserved penalty for Liverpool because the Tottenham player already had his arm up before he even kicked the ball out of his hand. So the way he just had his arm out, I think it was a given. I think he done it on purpose. But yeah, I think, I don't know, I just wish that we was in that position. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Richard, would you be happy if that was given against you next season, if that was given against Arsenal? I'm trying to be unbiased here, and I think it was a very, very soft penalty, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to look back over the highlights of it, so I don't really see. For what I saw of it at the time, I thought it was a rightly deserved penalty, but if I maybe look back over the highlights, then maybe my mind may think differently.
Yeah, I feel that Sissoko was pointing to his defense to get in shape. So his arm was out there. I wouldn't have called it an unnatural position because he was trying to point for the defense to do something. What do you think about that, Richard?
Yeah, most probably, but maybe the referee thought differently.
Yeah.
So,
what was your take, Mahir?
Look, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the game because it was quite a big night for the Muslim community.
Okay.
So, I watched the highlights and it seemed to be a bit of a grab.
It was a terrible final, if we're honest.
And apparently, Liverpool got lucky. They say Tottenham should have fully won.
I don't know, Richard. What do you think on the balance of the game? Did Liverpool deserve it? I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so as well because I don't think Harry Kane should have played because he didn't really look that 100% anyway when he was on.
Yeah.
He lost a bit of the pace as well going towards goal. And I think that Liverpool deservedly to win because they opened Tottenham up in certain areas which Tottenham wasn't really covering that much because I just think that they just looked shattered. But why would you play the Champions League final 3 weeks, leave it for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I kind of don't get that. Why would you wait for done that?
Yeah, don't understand that myself either.
Yeah, but I honestly think that in terms of the passage of play between the two teams, I think it was pretty evenly matched, really, because they both looked shattered. But I think Liverpool wanted it more.
Liverpool wanted it more, but I was finding myself getting a little bit nervous with 20 minutes to go as Tottenham were finding ways through, getting some shots off. So I was a little bit nervous. So I was definitely happy when Divock Origi was able to send that shot into the corner and finish the game.
Do you know what? I think when Lucas Moura came on for Tottenham in that second half, I think that he was the only. That is what they was wanting to come off from the bench, because I think he had, when I saw him play, he had more drive towards the final third.
Mm-hmm.
He had much more of a drive, and obviously he was playing the ball out wide, so to get in more of a width to get it over the top of Van Dijk. But I think Van Dijk, as a player, I think he's been fantastic for Liverpool. One of the best defenders in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he chose the right timing to go in for a tackle and when not to. So
yeah. So that segues nicely into our next segment, Richard, where we're going to talk about the Ajax and the Liverpool model. Now, and I have a question for you. If you know the history with Jurgen Klopp, he's been with Liverpool for 3 years and 8 months now, and their first season was not a great season at all. So my question is: are we 1 year into the Liverpool model? Like, if we're going to follow Liverpool, we've got 1 year. We're 1 year into it now, so we're looking at 2 years and 8 months, hopefully, to be somewhere where we can be competitive.
That's a good question. Do you know what? The way I looked at the Liverpool squad when Jurgen came into Liverpool is very similar to Arsenal's. Very, very similar. Now, half of that team that was playing under Jurgen Klopp in his first year are no longer there.
Yep.
Only maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 players are probably still there. I honestly don't think that we are nowhere near Liverpool, if I'm completely honest. Liverpool are too far ahead of us, and so are Man City.
Oh, yes, right now, but are we in a similar place to where Klopp was at the end of his first season?
Maybe. I would say probably maybe, but the only thing is we're not a team that's going to pay out £75 million just for one player.
Hi, Alex. I don't know if we can hear your audio.
Good afternoon.
No, we're having a problem with audio, Alex. So I'm very, very sorry about that. But you're welcome to completely stay in the call.
Can you hear me?
Jump on the chats if you want.
We can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
So, Gundit News, you can hear Alex.
I can definitely hear Alex.
I cannot. So, Gundit, you're going to transfer the any questions. Don't you love it, Alex and Richard? Technical difficulties.
No, Ray.
Yaltzi, thanks for coming in, Yaltzi.
Got the news. Can you tell Ray I can hear him
But
clearly?
yeah, Ray, going back to your question about Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, I honestly think that we are nowhere near Liverpool. Maybe we're at that certain stage where we're coming down to that final year at the same point as what Liverpool was. But in terms of squad-wise, I don't think we're anywhere near them.
Right. London Old School, just a technical question. Can you hear Alex when he speaks? London Old School. Alex, send out a testing 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you, Ray. 1, 2, 3.
So London Old School will let me know. Listen, Richard, I did some research on Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool. Okay, London Old School can hear you, Alex. So everybody can hear except for the host here.
The host.
How about that? So, Richard, Jurgen Klopp finished in 8th place He started at Liverpool in October of 2015. Their season finished in 8th place with 16 wins, 12 draws, and 10 losses. Goals for 63, goals against 50, and they finished on 60 points. Quite similar to what, well, I think we've done quite a bit better in our first season. And then we can go forward from there. He bought Firmino that year, and then in June of 2016, he bought Sadio Mane. And then in 2016, when we all know Leicester stole that league, well, not stole the league, but won the league. They were champions. Liverpool came fourth in the table that year on 76 points. So they've shown clear progression year on year as they picked up Firmino, Mane, Salah the next year, then Van Dijk and Alisson. So surely this is a model that we can follow.
It is. I think it probably is a sort of model to go with. But as I said, are we really a type of club that's going to pay 75, 80, 90 million pounds for one player?
No.
I don't think we are. So if we don't spend big money on quality players, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think we will. Whilst Dan Kroenke is in this club, I actually feel the worst is yet to come. I cannot see us getting Champions League football next season, but I cannot see us getting any far in the Europa League next season, because I don't think that Europa League is going to be as easy as it was this season.
But is that such a bad thing, Richard, that we don't get into Champions League? Is that going to be such a bad thing? Things have to get a lot worse before they can get better. For me, I have no problem.
Right, still there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
I can see that Alex is having his say. I cannot hear his audio, so I'm just like being respectful.
Yeah, I know. Richard keeps saying that things are going to get a lot worse.
Maybe Gundit News can.
I've got
what's going on.
I've got no problems with Arsenal going, to become a mid-table team until things get better. Look, we've seen what Klopp has done, but he's been able to do that, A, with some funds, and B, with the backing of the board. So we just have to copy that blueprint there. Just copy it.
Copy.
But the thing is, Gundit News, is that we are restricted because our wages are so high. The players we have there, we've got Ozil on 350k a week. We've got Material on 200,000. The wage bill is so high. That's why we are unable to move forward. So unless, I feel myself, I'm repeating the same old thing. Unless on high wages, we can't move forward.
Alex, I fully agree with you. Because unless we can move the highest wages being paid, which is Mkhitaryan and Ozil.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to spend any money. Even if Kroenke wanted to give us 150 million.
Exactly.
We're not going to be able to spend.
Exactly. And people.
Mahir, since you can hear everybody, I'm going to let you be the host today.
Mahir.
And remember, Richard's here with me.
Mahir, the problem is we still have a lot of people who.
Y'all see, in London Old School, thanks for coming in.
Okay, the problem is audio difficulties. Just hang with us for a little bit, guys.
But just get over it. The fact that he's not going to spend money, and even if he gave us 200 million, Mahir, we cannot spend the money. We can't spend the money.
This is really going to be an entertaining playback for everybody.
It's
This is how bad things can go.
It's for me because I can't hear Alex at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm relying on Mahir to help translate. It's all on you, Mahir.
Basically, Alex. Oh, have you gone to say? Unless we the highest wages, even if Kroenke or
Richard,
won't be paid.
Richard, do you want to jump in there and get off the phone and jump in there? See if you can hear more.
Do you know what? Do you know what? For what I heard Mira actually say, I actually think Alex is right, because without that, if while these players are on the wage bill,
Yeah.
it is true we cannot buy anyone. Even if Stan Kroenke did decide to give us 100, 300 million pounds, we still wouldn't be able to spend it because is it the FFP?
Yeah.
Financial fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally too high. So I think that we need to get Mkhitaryan and Ozil off the wage bill. And I think Alex is completely right, because what's in the 5 years or maybe 6+ years that Mesut Ozil's been at the club, what has he really done?
Nothing.
What has he really done?
Yeah, people will point to the FA Cups, the 3 FA Cups.
Actually, it was Ramsey that scored 2 of the goals for us.
Exactly.
Here we go.
I can read your lips, Alex. You're saying Ray.
But you think about it, right? This is what the club needs to decide now. Now, Ozil he's got 2 years left on his contract. Now, after what Raul Sanllehi said in the interview, he said that if the players have got down to the last 2 years, we will make a decision whether to keep them for them to renew their contract, or we will decide to get rid of them if they do not renew their contract. So I think this will be an important time for Arsenal to decide what they have to do. But then you have to think of it on the flip side: who's going to pay his 350 wages?
I have a question or a comment from Yaltzi. Thanks for coming in, Yaltzi. I know you're a frequent Cannon Fodder TV with Alex as well. So thanks for joining us. He says that Mane and Salah cost a combined 70 million. Laka and Aubameyang are 110. The money's there. We just have to spend it wisely.
Yeah, the money is there, but to be honest, the way I'm looking at it is I would not get rid of Aubameyang or Lacazette.
No, but I think what Yaltzi's saying is that, okay, and let's not get hung up on 45 million. We don't know the figure. But there are players out there that are attainable.
But Mahir, can you
Mane and Salah,
what is
Salah combined 70 million. And Mahir, let me know what Alex is saying.
Yeah,
Mahir, sorry, Alex.
Mahir, what is Chelsea's point? Okay, so we spent 70 million. Sorry, they spent 70 million on those 2 players, and we spent 110 million on Lacazette and Aubameyang. So what is his point? I'm not sure what his point is.
Yeah, I got you.
I think he's trying to show our lack, maybe our lack of quality,
lack of
or lack of mentality. We go out and get some of the highest players in the world.
Yeah, but I have a point for everybody, and this is ironic, Richard. We're talking about financial fair play. Do you know the coach in the last 5 years who championed financial fair play more than any other coach? It was Arsene Wenger, who looked around jealously at all of the other teams. But Alex, I don't believe that. I've just come to this realization. I don't believe Arsene Wenger was involved in giving Ozil that contract. I believe Gazidis was involved in that.
Yeah, I believe so too.
I don't think so.
Isn't it ironic that Arsene Wenger was a champion of financial fair play, and now we're kind of snookered by those rules?
I disagree, Ray. I disagree, because we know. Yeah, I disagree.
Say again.
Wenger was very single-minded, and he literally controlled everything at Arsenal there, the likes of which we're never, ever going to see again. He had a say in the players that were coming in, the players that were going out, the budgets. Unfortunately, David Dein was the main link that we missed at Arsenal. Once he went, we were left with Arsene Wenger. And Arsene Wenger was a type of manager who protected the board.
Yes, of course.
He was in the firing line. So to say that he didn't have much say in that £350,000 a week deal with Ozil, for me, I cannot agree with that, Ray. I think he had a lot to do with it. A lot to do with it. But we're stuck with him. Who's going to want to buy Ozil?
Okay, Maher, broad strokes. Let me know what's going on.
Okay, basically, Alex is describing to all of us. He comes to the point. Finger had control of
Complete control. Yeah.
complete control. Who comes in? Who goes out? The training regime.
Absolutely.
The backboard staff.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. He had his finger in too many pies at Arsenal.
Yeah, so you can't say that Wenger didn't have a part to play in the.
No, I'm just trying to understand. Surely Arsene Wenger must have known we would have been severely restricted in future transfer dealings by doing that deal. He was a very intelligent man. He had a degree in economics as well. Still has a degree in economics. So I just find it very, very strange and very hard to understand.
But Mahir, can you tell Ray that literally...
Yaltzi, coming from Yaltzi, we've mismanaged funds like Man United had in the past few years, and they can't even make top four consistently.
Yeah, and that has been the root of the problem, that we've misappropriated, we've mismanaged the money that we have had there. And as much as, we
London Old School.
We called Arsene Wenger the professor. Yeah, he might have had a degree in economics, but it didn't mean squat diddly in dealings with money coming in, getting the best players at the lowest cost, and selling the players. Look, how many players did we have, Mahir, who ran down their contracts to the last year?
I'm going to.
A lot. And a lot of them were part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And they just had enough. And they basically had the power to renegotiate the contract. But left on the
Incredible. And I'm not sure where the conversation is going, but let me add this in as well. I did some research into last summer's transfer dealings and the approximate dates of when the players were signed. We did 4 out of 5, and they turned out pretty well, Richard. Leno was signed. This is when we can expect signings, I think. Leno was signed on the 19th of June for $22 million. Torreira was signed on the 11th of July, $26 million. Guendouzi came in also on the same day, 11th of July, $8 million. And Socrates came in on the 2nd of July. So we have about 3 to 4 weeks to wait before I think anyone comes in the door.
Look, Alex, I would love to ask you and Richard and what would realistic into getting our beloved club back to where they need to be? Like, what could we do right now?
I think we've already started it with those 4 signings from last summer. Go first, Richard. I think Alex is collecting his thoughts.
Do you know what? I honestly think the best way that what Arsenal should do is, as from next season, play a few youngsters. That's what I would honestly do, because I feel that the senior players that we've got, I don't feel that they've got any backbone in them. Because every season, especially Granit Xhaka, every time he makes stupid mistakes that lead to a goal that we concede.
Yeah.
And I feel that there is a player that's in the academy side or the under-23s that could possibly fit that role, but maybe won't give that many mistakes away. And I would honestly put Joe Willock in there.
Yeah.
For him, I know Unai Emery's built that balance between Torreira and Granit Xhaka, but I would give Willock a chance, because I don't think that he would give too many chances away compared to what Granit Xhaka would. If you look at that Europa League final, for instance, Joe Willock was one of the players that came on from the bench, and he put in a much more better performance than the others did in the last 75.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it completely tell. And in what Emery should do, I know he's got this this formation. I don't think he actually fully knows what his starting 11 is, but what I would do, I'd play the senior backline as defence, and then just put a few young players here and there over the field. Just exactly what George Graham used to do. George Graham had he had a foundation for the back line, and he just stuck in like little stardust in wherever he could on the field.
Yeah.
As long as he had that back line, that was the main important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it will be better once we get the likes of Emil Smith Rowe back from loan and the likes of Reece Nelson, because then we've got wingers. So to give us a bit of width, that's what I would do personally. But I think Emery's going the right way. But we just need to get that defence sorted.
Yeah. Question for Alex. Our defensive record is shocking, same as it has been last season. The last 2 seasons have been shocking.
Yeah.
What do you see that gives you any confidence moving forward, other than going into the transfer market and getting what I think is a left back and a centre back that we need?
Personally, I know Richard has said that he would mix it up. I know Ray can't hear me, but Richard did say that he would mix up the defense with a lot of experience for maybe 1 or 2 youth players. I would forget about that back four there. The only back four I would probably keep would be Socrates. That's the only one. If you really want to make a statement of intent, that you really want to shake things up at Arsenal,
Take out the
completely change it, because we've seen the whole season that you don't know what you're going to get from the defense. So just play the youth players. I want to see Mavropanos in there. I forgot the other guy.
Yeah.
Just play the youngsters. Play the youngsters in the defense, because the defense have shown us what they're capable of or what they are incapable of.
We're going to need another centre back as well.
Medley. We've got Medley. Just reinvent.
To be honest, Alex, I was discussing with Richard earlier, and in order to our squad in the transfer window, we can actually go after players that are already Premier League qualified. The likes of Dunk, the likes of Fraser. And I mean, these are calculated risk. I would personally.
Really?
A 15 million here, a 20 million there. Who knows?
Yeah. So Mahir, would you play the youth players? Would you replace the whole defense with youth players, or would you mix it up with youth and experience?
I'd probably mix it up with youth and experience.
Okay.
But personally, if you ask me, Socrates and Bellerin are the only two that actually deserve to be.
What about Holding? What about Holding?
And Mavropanos.
Okay.
But I mean, in general, Nacho needs to go. Mustafi definitely needs to go.
Yeah.
If you're going to midfield the likes of Granit Xhaka, I'm sure we can find better.
Yeah. But Mahir, wasn't there some talk of
Okay, I have a question. Go, Richard.
No, what's that player? Is it Talisman? I think he's from Everton. I think he'd be a good replacement.
Keen.
Tielemans or?
Yeah, I think he'd be a great replacement for Granit Xhaka.
Oh, Tielemans.
Yeah.
I have a question for Gundit and Richard. Richard, you go first because we didn't have you for a second. I think this is suited to you as well. Yaltzi is concerned about Wolves and other teams like Everton coming up behind us and overtaking us. Is that a very real concern?
Yeah, I think it is a concern, really, if you want to look at it that way. If you want to look at the likes of Newcastle as well, because Newcastle have got new owners coming into the club, and I think that would be a massive concern if they start spending big money and we're still falling behind. I think it will be a massive. That is my biggest concern, is the likes of Wolves, Newcastle coming up and getting above us. Then this is where the board and also Stan Kroenke needs to do something, because, as I said, if Stan Kroenke does not spend any money and we do not get these players off the wage bill, then for me, I think it's going to go from bad to worse.
But
we could end up 8th.
For me, we know Stan Kroenke's the owner, and we only hear about this in January and the summertime. We know the playing field that we have to work in, so we just have to move forward and ship some of these players out first in this month. And
I think that would be the first step that the club needs to do, is to get rid of our main players that are on the highest wage.
We don't have an option.
We ain't got to worry about Petr Cech. We haven't got to worry about Ramsey.
Mahir, can you hear me?
Unfortunately about him, but
Mahir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That we need to get off the wage bill.
Yeah,
that has to be the first step. Get rid of the players first.
And another thing, looking back at the history of Klopp over the last it's been 3 years and 8 months since he took over, and he's brought in some academy players as well. Alexander is an academy player, so that's surely the blueprint we need to follow.
I think it is. I mean, you've only got to take a look at that now. We've got one of the best youth academies around in England, I'd say in the world of football, I'd probably say. And he's proven that it's done it over the times when Emil Smith-Rowe played a European match. He scored 2 goals. And then you've got Joe Willock, who's coming through. Now, Maitland-Niles, for me, I think it'll be a question mark whether or not to get rid of him or not, because he's not playing in his natural position.
But that's the point, Richard. Why not try him in his natural position?
Yeah, because I think he's mainly a attacking midfielder, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why don't we, when Bellerin comes back, why don't you play him in his natural position and take Ozil out and see how well we probably look better then?
Yeah. I think I did some research into the squad depth. I did a video yesterday. I'll direct this towards Alex. I did a video yesterday. Our squad in midfield is very, very young. Can we afford to get rid of a player like Xhaka and lose that experience?
Personally, yes, we can, because we have seen with Xhaka, he makes critical errors in critical places which cost us a win, a goal, a penalty. So we can afford to get shot of Xhaka as we can with Mustafi. Again, I don't want to repeat the same old thing, but bring in the young players, bring in young, hungry players who want to fight for the red and white of Arsenal. Again, these players, they've shown us. Xhaka has been with us for the best part of 3 seasons, and I can't see him getting any better. So,
me neither.
Yeah. So for me, I've got no qualms with us setting on Xhaka.
Fellas in Gundit.
Whilst he's still young, because Xhaka's 26. Mahir, 27.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
About 26, 27.
Looks like from the comments section after Brighton game, Alex is finished with Xhaka.
Yes.
And in the comments, Alex has said, "Would it be such a bad thing if we were outside of the top four and mid-table for a few seasons?" And Yalsi says, "We have fickle fans. I wouldn't like to see us outside of the top four, top six, Alex. But I think we throw in the kids. I think we have enough experience in the team that we can help those younger players too. And let's not forget, there's some targets we're going to go for in the transfer window. My number is 3.
But Mahir, can you ask Ray, how did we have those young players come through, like Merson, Tony Adams? You have to play the young players. It's a risk, but you have to play them.
Ray, Alex has just asked the very how did we youth players in through, such as like the likes of Paul Merson, etc.
How do we bring those players through?
Yeah.
How did we do it? You have to take a risk.
You have to take
exactly.
A risk. You have to play
and
them.
I think he was paired up with Alan Smith a lot of the time, and then Kevin Campbell for some of his career. So Kevin Campbell is a youth product as well. Alan Smith was bought from Leicester City.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we need to buy in certain areas of the field. We need to buy.
We have to take the risk.
Back. So I feel 24 who's going to grow into that role over the next 10 years. I think we need a more experienced left back, a 27, 28-year-old left back.
Why?
Right, do you know what? To be quite honest, I couldn't care less if Arsenal spent all their money on defence this summer. I really could not care. Because if we spent all of our money on our defence, at least we know our defence is going to be sorted and ready for the new season.
Yeah.
Bravo, I agree.
We can use the academy players for the majority of the season. What has Emery got to lose?
I think standing on the sidelines on Wednesday night, he realised.
All you have to do is look at the likes of Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. He's one of their academy players that's been with Liverpool since the age of 6 years old.
Yeah.
And look how he's turned out.
Yeah. No, I think Alex and I think we're all on the same wavelength. Buy some players, drop the kids in the forward positions, maybe on the wings for me, maybe some in midfield, but get experienced defenders in the back line, reduce the amount of goals we're conceding, because we're not having a problem scoring goals.
No.
Right?
No.
I honestly think it's communication at the back line, to be quite honest.
Yeah, and an interesting point, a friend to both shows, both Arsenal Fan Circle and Cannon Fodder TV, James Rowe, wonders if they can communicate with each other, the defenders, which is startling in professional football. But you do need to have communication to defend properly. Hey, Mahir, I set you a task for. We've looked into the Liverpool model, but only a few years ago, Ajax lost the Europa League final as well to Manchester United. Boo! But what did you find with Ajax's model in the last 3 or 4 years? Because they were very close to a Champions League final this year.
But I mean, even a lot of the players, or the majority of the players, are young footballers.
Yeah.
Then you've got
absolutely
just a few experienced the likes of like and the amazing performances have led the way to a semi-final, a final of the Europa.
And 5 years ago, they were champions 5 years ago. They have not won the Eredivisie for 5 years.
it's because sometimes when you sell or you don't allow your young prospects to fully blossom, this can be the consequence.
Yeah.
Also, big teams picking the team apart, saying, okay, we'll take this star player from you, this star player from you.
Yeah.
And I mean, you lose that wallet very quickly.
That's possibly something we have to face this year. London Old School said in the comments he's worried about Lacazette being in Barcelona.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that will happen.
either.
We don't need to worry about that.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Richard, what do you think of that?
No.
Well, I'm not worried either because I know that Lacazette has came out and made a statement on it.
Yeah.
And he said that he's flattered about it. But why would you sell one of your two best strikers? And then if you sell your two best strikers that's got us to where we are this season, then if you sell them, then you're back to the rebuilding stage again.
And what all of that money, this would send the fans into overdrive. If a striker was sold and that money did not clearly go back into the team.
Yeah, that's my worry as well.
That would be bad.
That's exactly my worry as well. Like if we go and get 70, 80 million pounds, for instance, from Lacazette, what's the odds that we won't be able to use that money at all because Ozil and Mkhitaryan still on the wage bill?
It goes back to what Alex and I were saying. Even Richard and I were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's left out of the loop here. London Old School said we did it with Van Persie. We sold Van Persie, which for me was the beginning of the end with Wenger for me when Van Persie went to Manchester United.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Actually, to be honest, Ray, do you know what? That Van Persie thing, I kind of blame the board as well because it took us so long to replace Van Persie as well. And we were still in a crisis because when we sold Van Persie, we still didn't get his replacement for so many years. So you might as well say that Aubameyang and Lacazette have been his replacement.
Yeah. Alex,
In the modern era, yes.
Thanks, Alex, for being in the chat section. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate it. I have a question for all three of you. Let me start with Alex. Do you have faith in Unai Emery to do what Jurgen Klopp did with this club? I guess I'm saying with the whole setup. Do you have faith looking at the 4 signings that we got last summer?
Ray, I know you can't hear me, but it's dependent on 2 factors. It's dependent on 2 factors. The board giving him time, minimum 2-3 years, because I think he's probably signed a 2-year contract with Arsenal with an option to extend. So yeah, it's dependent on giving him time, and it's dependent on giving him the money to rebuild the squad. Without those 2 things, there, it's not going to work. Do I have faith in Unai Emery? Yes, I do. But the caveat is the board have to support him. Give him a free, I wouldn't say, an open checkbook, but give him the power to do the things that he wants to do. At times I felt like that he's got his arms tied, his hands are tied, and he's not been able to do the things and buy the players and bring in the players that he wants. So given those 2 factors there, I have full trust and I support Unai Emery 100% of the way. Am I here?
Okay, Raymond.
Yeah.
You know what, am I here? The thing is,
there's 2 factors in this. The board need to back him. Firstly, what money, and they have to give him 2 years.
I think so.
2 years at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will give him the power to breathe him, mold him into this. And from there, we can judge how Emery is as a coach. And if he's the right coach.
But
Right.
here, there's just an additional point to
Did
that.
you get that, Richard?
You imagine, Richard, as well. You imagine
I'm going to
that,
pass the question to Richard then when you let me know, am I here?
that Unai Emery has just missed top four with 1
I
point.
think Alex could be right.
Yeah, I mean, this is patently following the Liverpool model for me, if I'm not misrepresenting you, Alex.
Time and patience and time with some money.
Patience and time. And I really hope he's... So I do have faith in Emery to follow the path that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool have set out for us.
But
He does need the backing.
Can you tell Ray as well that he must be
And I believe we're 1 year. I believe we are 1 year onto that path.
He must be very, very cutthroat and get rid of the players that obviously we don't need.
And one question from the comments, Yalci said, the signings do not have to be expensive. We just need to find gems.
Raymond.
Yeah.
And Richard.
Yep.
Basically, what Alex has said to me now, and to all the subscribers, we have to get rid of all the debris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or as soon as possible.
Yep.
That's the only option. To be ruthless. Basically.
All right, Richard, I'm going to hit you with that question. Do you have faith in Emery to follow the same path that Liverpool and Klopp has, and for not only Emery but the backroom staff at Arsenal?
Yeah, I do have faith in Emery, but my concern is that are Ozil and Mkhitaryan still going to be at the club where we still can't buy any players? That's my main concern.
It boils down to, do you think we can move those players on this summer?
Mkhitaryan, most likely.
Yeah.
Ozil, I don't think so.
There's been talk about part funding his transfer or loan to another club.
Yeah.
But he has to be willing to go as well.
But he shouldn't be given any choice.
That's the thing. I don't think Ozil is actually willing to go. I honestly
he shouldn't be given a choice.
Right. That's what Alex is saying. He shouldn't be given a choice.
No
choice.
He shouldn't be given a choice.
Yeah. I would.
This is where the club needs to be ruthless with it.
Yeah.
If Raul Sanelli is actually saying what he's basically saying, that if that player is down to the 2 years of his contract, then we have to make a decision whether for them to renew him or actually sell him. And if you have to sell him, then go ahead and do it.
Right.
Even if that player is not willing to go, sell him.
Yeah.
Go by what you stand by.
No, they have to follow through now. They have verbally and publicly stated when a player gets to 2 years, they either get a new contract or they're moved on.
Ray, I want him gone now.
Yeah.
I want him gone now. Now.
All right, I'm getting really good at lip reading here. Thanks, Alex. Comment from London Old School. Fenerbahce are interested in Ozil.
Please. I think we'll all
unanimous. You know, in this chat room of 4 people here, there should be at least 2 of us that are Ozil supporters. Because I really believe the fan base is split 50-50.
Really?
Right, listen, I will support any player that plays for this club. But it gets to a certain point where if you're not putting in the work, you lose my trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, Ozil's completely lost it.
Yeah.
I think that majority of these players at this club, I don't think are good enough to play for us.
Mahir knows that we've been in a WhatsApp group, and it's been very, very pro Ozil. And so we kind of bow out of that WhatsApp group and do our own thing now. And also London Old School and Yalsey agree with us. So we got 6 people that are not really for Ozil sticking around.
Oh my
And I'm
goodness.
sure there's
He's
more.
one season, one good season at Arsenal. Out of what, like
Yeah. Where he nearly got the assist record.
Yeah.
One season. I agree with
one
you.
season.
Yeah, I mean, if Ozil is still here come August, he should not get near the first team, in my opinion. He should be frozen out.
Exactly. Until we move on to the team.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're trying. He needs to be.
But Mahir, didn't Ozil try? Didn't Emery try to do that at the beginning of the season?
London Old School thinks it's 80%, 20% for Ozil out. 80-20.
I think. You see.
I think those numbers should be more
Alex,
even.
I understand what you're saying. The struggle between coach and player power.
Yeah.
Emery was trying to do that.
Yeah.
But he got it wrong.
I think personally, Richard, from Wednesday night, a lot of Ozil supporters have changed their mind on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But like seriously, one night is all it takes.
What did everyone, Mahir, I'll go to you first, and then what did everyone think about Ozil's substitution?
I was about to say that.
Too late.
Yep.
Too late.
Mahir?
Okay. I think it was an absolute but when we really do it just like it's not too
Welcome into the chat room, Afdelling Skills. Skills.
Mahir, I
think you're a first-time visitor. Really appreciate
he should have
people
been
joining us.
A long time ago.
Afdelling Skills, Ozil out.
He should have been substituted long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
how did it wait?
Emery,
how did it get so late in the game?
Look, Emery has very bad decision. 6 weeks, 7 weeks. To be honest with you guys, don't qualify for the league. Basically, 3-4 weeks ago, I made a video saying all we is to win. And when next week, obviously, a fine.
Yeah, terrible.
Heartbreaking.
But you know what, Mahir?
I have a comment from a new player, a new visitor, Afdelling Skills. I feel Ozil should be out, but also Maitland-Niles is not good enough, and get rid of him. Get rid of Mickey. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a young player. Maybe he's playing out of position. I agree with you with Mickey. We should see Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield next season. But I think there is far more players that need to leave the club than Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, more important basically. But what I was thinking in the season, why didn't they play Ainsley Maitland in his natural position instead of Mohamed Al-Sideways?
Yeah. Afdelling Skills, would you take Ainsley Maitland-Niles as a squad player?
No, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles has improved. It's like Mahir says. For me personally, he's been played in the wrong position.
Yes, Richard.
Can I just get to the point of when you mentioned that Ozil substitution?
Yes.
You know what really annoyed me about that? He was walking off as if we was winning 4-1.
Yes.
That is what annoyed me the most about him. And when he came off, it's like he didn't have a single care in the world. was losing in a European final.
Compare that to a player who's only had one season at the club and seems to understand the club and care for the club more in Lucas Torreira, who ran off the field and was crying, a complete opposite to Ozil.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? He was the only player actually that cried.
Yeah.
From what I saw, Torreira, he's the type of player that gets it. He gets the club. Obviously, he knows the whole rivalry stuff from when he was over in San Pandora. So he gets it. But he's the player that you can say that's gone out there that since he's been here, and he has put in good performances every week. Maybe he's had a few off days, but even in the Europa League final, I don't think Torreira was even that great even then. But he wasn't one of the worst players, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't think he was one of the worst players at all. But with Mesut Ozil, my only concern with him is like he has one good game, and then out of the 5 games, he has one good game, and then all the other games have been absolutely poor.
Yeah.
If Ozil can put in performances like he done against Leicester, like he's done against Ludogorets in the Champions League, if he can put in those sort of performances in, week out, I don't think we would have a problem.
Richard, his time is done at Arsenal.
If he's
I don't want to think about
like 100 miles running on the field,
his time is done at Arsenal.
His time is done.
His time is done.
Exactly. And then doing getting 20, 25 assists in a season, I don't think we would be complaining about it.
Yeah.
The key word is consistency.
Yeah.
We wouldn't complain about 3/4 of these players if they were consistent.
Yeah.
Week in, week out.
Correct.
Whether you're playing against Aston Villa, Brighton, Man City, or any other team.
But you're not Mahir. You can just tell Ray.
Go ahead, Richard.
But Ray, I've also noticed that our record this season against the top 6 sides is not as bad as it was last season.
No.
And previous seasons. I have noticed that.
Yeah.
I know on the top 6 sides, I've noticed that our record against them isn't so bad as to what it used to be.
Well, look at the 3 teams that we're directly in competition with: Manchester United, Chelsea, and Tottenham. We only lost one of those games, which was the second game of the season. Arguably, we should have gotten something out of that game. Emery has brought something to the table this year, and we can move on to this conversation. But quickly, I want to address something. Where is the money coming from this summer, Richard?
Sorry, Ray, say that again?
Where's the money coming from? This old, tired subject. Where is the money coming from? Through sales, we have to generate it, right?
Player sales.
Where the money should be coming from is going to be shirt sales for one, the Adidas deal for another,
Yeah.
The Emirates money for the new deal for that. I think that'll be another.
Was it Rwanda?
And I think we've got television deals as well.
Yeah, lower tier money.
And I think I think the other lot of money will be shifting off players off the wage bill.
Yeah.
That is where the money's going to come from. I don't honestly think Stan Kroenke is going to give us any money.
Can we have? Yeah, no, we're not talking about Kroenke. Can we have another window like we had last summer in terms of players coming in?
Well, as we all know, in the football business, we know transfers takes a little bit of a period. Takes a long time to get contracts and everything sorted.
Yeah.
So it's gonna drag in terms of some of the deals to get over the line. But it's also down to the player that we're trying to go for if they want to move or not.
Yeah.
Because you've got to realise those players have got families to think of, whether or not they want to relocate or not. So that's something that the player does have to bear in mind.
Yeah.
and
Absolutely,
making sure that the wages is and making sure that the wages is good enough for his ability that he's capable of.
right.
So there is a lot of things to think of in terms of transfers. But if we can do the sort of transfer the way we've done it from last summer, then yeah, I don't see why not. But the main important thing that we need to do is to get some of the players off the wage bill that are not, underperforming.
Yeah, that's going to be this month's work. It's got to be this month's work.
Yeah.
And in early July, we got to get new players in. Because I've noted already, the dates approximately, it's the end of this month, beginning of next month, when we're going to see players coming in. I have one question for Alex, a refreshing question.
Right, Ray, I'm sorry to cut you short, mate,
Yeah.
but I've got to go.
Thanks, Richard.
See you later.
Thanks, Richard.
Anyway,
I appreciate
you're welcome.
your support. Thanks. Bye. All right, that was Richard from Arsenal TV. Go and check him out, guys. A question for Alex. Are you hopeful for next season?
Am I hopeful? I'm hopeful if, as we said before, those two components, if Emery is given those two components, then I'll be hopeful. If not, it's going to be much more of a Groundhog Day. We're going to see more of the same. Unless we can move on those players, that has to be the first thing Emery has to do, and the board, get rid of those players. Without that, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same old thing. The same old thing.
Raymond, did you catch that?
Yes. Same old.
Yep, same old.
Yep.
If we introduce younger players,
and Ray, that's why I said to you, unless Emery is given a free rein to do what he needs to do, in my heart of hearts, Mahir, I can see Unai Emery walking away from Arsenal.
Yes.
Because, you know, Mahir, I get the feeling that when he came and he did the interview to get the job, I think he was probably sold a lie, where he's probably told, you're going to have this amount of funds to buy the players. You'll be able to do this. You can do that at Arsenal. I think the board lied to him. And then the last transfer window, when he came out and said, unfortunately, if we want to bring in new players, they're going to be loan players. And then we had Suarez. So I think, A, he was sold the lie at the interview, and B, I think he will walk away from Arsenal if he's not supported. That's what I feel in my heart.
I 100% agree with you. You know why? It's ruthless like that in the workplace. You go in for an interview. Yep. They say, okay, you'll be doing this. You'll be playing this. You'll get this. And then you wonder to yourself, hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting. And then employee, why you are leaving? It's basically because you've been blowing smoke in front. It's ridiculous.
I can see him walking away. I think, you know, Mahir, really, I think we saw Emery being ruthless at the beginning of the season, where he was putting players.
As a result of that conversation, Yalci has a comment. Lied to ? He didn't have any say on the signings during the summer. Those were mislintat signings from Yalci.
But basically, what Alex and I are trying to say though is being sold a dream.
Yes.
Regardless of how much power, you have to stay true to it. I mean, if I get
season tickets,
especially after 22 years. You come into this job and you get promised all these things.
Yeah.
Never mind if a quarter of it happens, if a fifth, a tenth of it happens, you were promised. And you could see yourself fully rebuilding and getting a plan in mode. None of that, you're going to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on. And the other point I was going to say is that
That's a fear Alex has.
At the beginning of the season, I look, Emery was at PSG, and he had to deal with a lot of big characters there, where to the point, literally, it was too much for him. He's come to Arsenal, and he has to deal with another character. At the beginning of the season,
Yalci's generating the conversation here.
I'm sure Emery didn't want to play Ozil.
He was brought in to coach the players. He's the guy. He's the guy to give the PowerPoint to Gazidis and told him everything about these players, and he could get the best out of them.
Do you know what's one of the biggest problems? Player power.
Yeah.
Player power is now everything.
Yeah. It's in every club.
So it's massively affecting the likes of Emery is new, like I've said. And player power shouldn't be so massive of an influence in today's modern era.
But just a point to Joseph's comment in the chat here, where you say that he's presented a PowerPoint and he's supposed to get the best out of these players. He wants the best players. He wants the best players playing for one of the biggest teams in London.
Mahir agrees with you.
Like I said, we just missed top 4 with these set of players, Mahir. We got to the Europa League Cup with these set of players. But he wants to have the best players possible to make it to the final.
Yeah, exactly. Look, you saying everything about right there. So chemistry guys saying, but how can you expect to get anything if the players don't have the to fight for the badge?
They don't have the mentality, and that's why we do have to ship a lot of these players out, up to 10.
Up to 10.
I don't know if it can be possible to do that this summer, but
can you tell Ray,
the remaining of those 10 that don't go should not be near the first team too much.
We want to move on.
Okay. Alex, just a quick so I can wait through.
It's not a session to bash Mesut Ozil. No, this is what it's about. I'm not an Ozil fan. You guys will know that by looking at my channel. I'm an Arsenal fan. I want the best thing possible for Arsenal. That is what I want. That's what any fan would want. Players come, players go. But the one thing that remains constant is Arsenal Football Club. Yeah?
Yeah. So Raymond.
Yeah.
Beautiful point, Alex brought up now. We are not here to bash certain people. Right? As we've discussed many times. We only want what is best for Arsenal. And to get back to where we were. I mean, we're still one of the biggest teams in the world. It's only that we've let all these minor issues explode into, players make selling our star players, and that's basically good. I mean, you can't expect the likes of Emery straight away. We said we were going to do 1 year slander free. Right?
Yeah.
Right now, people Emery out.
Yeah.
What do you expect? My cousin was if Wenger was still in the job, he would have done better. I couldn't believe it.
It's so frustrating.
I think most reasonable supporters are reasonable, and will give Emery the time needed. We have a small minority talking about Emery out, and they're the most vocal ones, right?
Exactly.
Incredible.
Utterly ridiculous.
Incredible.
So, marks out of 10 for the job Emery has done this season.
I'll probably give him a 6.
Yeah, a 6. Yeah. 6 out of 10. Could do better. Could do a lot better. 6
Alex?
out of 10 for me.
Alex, and if he had won the European and gotten us all into top 4 the normal way, definitely would have deserved it.
The Premier League doesn't lie. It is what it is. We are not a top 4.
Yeah, I'm with London Osco, 7 out of 10. That's the mark I would give him for the past
5.
season. Yaltzi, 5 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is for making us more competitive in the league. We have had slight improvement from the previous 2 years before us, but ultimately we're still in the same position when the cold light of day, and top 4 will never be as attainable as it was this past season.
No.
You're never going to have a situation where Chelsea, Tottenham, and United were dreadful, and we were just as dreadful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do believe in the coach. I do believe we're going to find out in the next month. We're going to find out what's going to happen. The club, Raul and Vinay, have put themselves in a position where they're going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And players who have come to 2 years on the contract, things will be done. And there's a few players that are right there right now.
Yeah. Mahir, can you tell Ray that my time is up? I have to go, unfortunately.
Okay, Ray, unfortunately, Alex has to go as well.
Yeah, we're
having him on this.
We just had Ryan drop in, and I have intention, Ryan, of inviting you next week as well to come on the show. So if you would love to come on Mr. Arsenal podcast, I would love to have you next week. Alex from Cannon Fodder TV, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
Everybody, if you're watching this live or on playback, take a look at Cannon Fodder TV. Subscribe to them over there. They've got a great group of people who are generating that channel. And you were the host this week. Ryan from Mr. Arsenal podcast, I would like to invite you next week into the circle. If you want to do that, let me know. But Ryan had a comment. Rest in peace, Jose Antonio Reyes, and it's fitting to close out the show that way. For all of us to think about a player, an invincible, a legend with Arsenal he's won things with us, and a father, like I said, a son, a brother. We have to think about the bigger things in life. Football is just a game at the end of the day. We do want the best for our teams, but the most important thing is for all of us to have good health and to love each other and live our lives in the right way, right, Mahir?
Yes, and not to take life because at any moment it could just go.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you caught us on the back end of the show. We're just closing out, but I'll be in contact. Hopefully, you can come on next week. We would like to bring everybody into this, all Arsenal fans into the circle. Find out what made them follow the Arsenal, what makes them tick, all that good stuff. But to all of the people who have been on today, Richard from Arsenal TV, Alex from Cannon Fodder TV, London Old School,
All our subscribers.
our brother, London Old School,
Our brother.
Yahtzee, thanks for coming in, Yahtzee. Do appreciate it. And finally, Ryan. Hey, this has been a good episode. It's number 20 this season. Yeah, we talked about a lot of things, but I think the biggest thing to take from this show is to enjoy every day as if it was our last day. Because unfortunately for Jose Antonio Reyes, rest in peace, he's been taken from us too soon.
Way too soon.
And with that, I'm going to just close the show here. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mahir, Gundit News, for coming on. Catch us next weekend. We will have another show. Until then, we are out of here.